1.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to One Trinity Place in San Antonio, Texas. The black jerseys are out, and it's a great night for baseball. I'm Cole Isaacson, joined by Josh Muchagamba for what hopes to be an exciting game, as Game 1 certainly was between these two teams.
Yeah, it's debatable on whether or not it was decent pitching to good pitching, but there was very little runs scored against our starting pitchers yesterday, both going about 6 innings apiece. And when it got to the bullpens, that's when it got a little crazy. We saw the reemergence of the Cardiac Cats, as you've liked to have called them lately. Trinity able to put up 3 runs in the bottom half of the 8th inning, and they squeaked out a 7-5 win. They moved to 6-4 on the season, and that was Concordia's season opener here in 2023.
The Cardiac Cats indeed making another appearance. A tight win that Trinity able to squeeze out in the end. Starting pitcher yesterday was Joseph Shavana. Today it'll be Cade McGahan.
And for Cade McGahan, the thing that I'm personally most interested to see, if he does allow a base runner, how many times we're going to see something thrown over to first base, because that has been the thing that has stuck out the most in my mind. Is he gets maybe, I don't know if it's nerves or if it's just his progression of things, but he does like to check the runners over at first.
Indeed. It's Cade McGahan on the mound again. Another Game 2 start. Jack Martinez, the Game 2 starter. Opening weekend, Cade McGahan has taken the reins since then, as we're about to get underway here in San Antonio. It is black versus white here in Texas. Trinity versus Concordia, Wisconsin. First pitch, and we are underway at One Trinity Place for strike 1.
And a big strike to a man who didn't see a whole lot of them yesterday. 4 walks on the day for Hawkinson. We'll see if he's able to swing the bat today, as he didn't get much of a chance to do it yesterday.
4 walks, a very impressive number. Shows the patience he has. Gets a piece of that one, down 0-2 early. Jonas Hawkinson, definitely one of the favorite quotes I've ever heard about a player when I talked to Coach Morgan about him. Said he runs like a deer in center field. As that pitch on the outside.
He showed some of that speed yesterday. We saw him steal a couple of bases early on. And in fact, he opened the season here for the Falcons by scoring their first run of the year after taking a leadoff walk in yesterday's contest.
As Hawkinson stays in the batter's box, awaiting the next pitch from McGahan. Gets on top of that one, and it'll get through. Hawkinson able to reach first base, and a lead-off single for the Falcons.
Yeah, so he's back aboard to open the game. Pretty much what we saw yesterday, and so not a big surprise. I wouldn't be surprised to see a throw over, try to keep him close. I did mention it in the pregame, but realistically, he's a guy that I expect to try to swipe second and turn that single into a double.
Up next, it'll be Kyle Flynn for the Falcons. Takes ball 1 low. Kyle Flynn, the sophomore from Nashville, Tennessee. Trying to move Hawkinson over. And Hawkinson kind of do it himself. Throw, not going to be in time. No, in time.
Yeah, so
Hawkinson stays there for a second in disbelief, but he's going to walk back as Lazera able to get him in time.
Yeah, that throw was offline, and just an acrobatic catch and tag must have got him on the backside.
Yeah, I saw the throw over was behind. Saw him stay there, assumed he was safe, but the ump throws up the arm, declaring the first out of the inning. That's a strike delivered there by McGahan.
And a big break for McGahan, as we mentioned earlier. Hawkinson using that leadoff walk to score the early run. And if you're a Tiger fan, what you really don't want to see here again is allowing early scoring opportunities for your opponents, especially, we mentioned it a little bit yesterday, the offense not really clicking on all cylinders just yet. Did get 7 runs yesterday, so a little bit in the right direction.
That was their highest total of the season. This one a grounder to Montreza, able to handle it, gets to Kai Tinker, as that will be the second out of the inning.
And just in time, we talked about it a little bit yesterday, the infield, this new turf, as you see here on the screen, the new turf really slowing the ball down sometimes, and that was almost a bang-bang play at first when it probably shouldn't have.
Up next for the Falcons, Sean Tillman hit .380 last season. A big moment in the game involving him. Ezra Gore able to throw him out at third. when the Falcons could have added on to their lead. Tillman gets a piece of this one, smacks it foul.
Saw Tillman taking BP earlier today, and the gut instinct I had was I feel like he might be going yard today. We'll have to wait and see. The ball does love to travel a little bit more here in the night air here in San Antonio, so we'll see if he gets anything he likes.
Gets on top of this one. Grounder over third base side. Play in time. So a quick inning from Cade McGahan allows the lead-off hit, but they catch him stealing, and nothing here in San Antonio.
One.
Welcome back to South Texas. Zach Sloan on the mound for the Falcons. He'll face the leadoff hitter for Trinity, Michael Montreza, who saw 2 ground balls in that last half inning.
Montreza handle himself on defense. Let's see if he can get the Tigers going here on offense. A couple of home runs from this leadoff spot last week on Saturday.
Absolutely. Christian Holloway going yard in a series that saw plenty of home runs, largely thanks to the wind. Going out to center field, Montreza gets on this one, and it gets through. Holds up at first base, and a lead-off single similar to the one Concordia had.
Yeah, so both teams putting up ones in the hit column with their first batter, and that'll be just enough to get us started.
Montreza reaching. Lots of leadoff hitters reaching in yesterday's game. Today, no different, 2 for 2, as Kai Tinker will be the man to try and move him over. Getting the first base start tonight. Squares up to bunt, will drop it back for strike 1. Talking to Coach Morgan about Zach Sloan, said he handles himself very well on the mound, very professional in the way he pitches. Not the hardest thrower, but able to handle all aspects of the game. And runner goes.
A beautiful hit and run here for the Tigers. Kai Tinker sending it right to the vacated spot by the shortstop. And that is 2 hits against Zach Sloan, who a year ago gave up 67 hits in 54 2/3 innings. Already given up 2 hits here early on. Also had 50 strikeouts and an impressive only 16 walks. So very control-oriented. We saw that yesterday with Ryan Green. Had a really nice low walk count pacing the Falcons and keeping them in that game all the way up until the 9th inning.
Sloan, a 4-5 record as a first year as Lazera fakes the bunt. Tinker able to make it back to second before there's any throw. A 4-5 record as a first-year pitcher, a sophomore now. Appeared in 11 games, 9 starts. But 4-5 as a first year, hoping to build on that throughout his Falcons career. Challenge here as he faces Nick Lazera with 2 men on and nobody out. Montrez at second, Tinker at first as Lazera takes that one away.
Montreza in a familiar spot over there, almost his shortstop area that he would play on defense, but looking to go another 180 feet. Trinity was able to score in the first yesterday. They'd love to do so again here today. Lazera, as you mentioned yesterday, was all alone at the leaderboard for the Tigers in the home run count, and it's been a while since he's hit one. He did it in the opening series against Birmingham Southern. He knocked out 2, but he hasn't gotten a hold of one since.
Not since Game 3. A 3-run home run against Birmingham Southern helped give the Tigers their first win of the season. Now 6-4 after their win last night as Lazera twirls the bat, awaiting a pitch. Breaking ball in for a strike. Appropriate time to mention that Frank in the building again, as he is most days and nights. This is the first Saturday night game that we've had all season here at Trinity. Like the Saturday night games.
Yeah, the games last weekend went by so quickly. We didn't even get to the evening.
No, we did not. Always love baseball when the lights are on. Day games are good. All baseball's good, but something about the mystique of a night game. Haven't gotten to experience it a lot with 2 Friday games being moved to doubleheaders.
And then yesterday's game getting moved up earlier to 4 o'clock.
Lazera gets on top of that one, but the play no. Lazera, a double, slides into second base. Couldn't see where that ball went. I apologize, folks, but that's going to bring in a run as Montreza will score. So Trinity out to a 1-0 lead as Tinker will stay at third.
Yeah, an excellent job of hitting. He got it on the ground right through the right side and past the diving extended arms of the second baseman. And unfortunately, we didn't have a good view, neither did you, of what was going on out in right field. So I don't know if it was kicked around or bobbled or anything like that. But it was able to bring in a run and put runners at second and third here for the Tigers. They jump out to that early 1-0 lead.
So that'll bring up Brandon Nelson. Trinity up 1-0. Men on second and third, still awaiting stats to bring you a scoreboard. Pitch from Sloan, going to be high to Brandon Nelson. Did not make a start yesterday. That was the first time he didn't start all season. Was 9 for 9. 8 starts at designated hitter, which is where he is now, and 1 at first base.
Had himself a Sunday last week. His first 2 home runs here for the Tigers.
That pitch away. So he'll go up 2-0. 2 runners in scoring position. Nobody out as the first 3 Tigers up to bat have all reached. Breaking ball in there for strike 1.
Yeah, really nice breaking ball there from Sloan.
Sloan battling back, in danger of extending this lead, Trinity is. 2 runners in scoring position for the cleanup hitter, Brandon Nelson. As that pitch away, Nelson had been dealing with a shoulder problem. Was cleared to play defense last weekend, played first base, but back at DH after getting the night off yesterday. A big moment for Trinity to jump out to a large lead. Nelson gonna smack that foul. It was just under that one.
Yeah, pretty simple job here for Nelson. I mean, obviously he can extend the inning, but the other thing he can do is, just lift the ball into the outfield, and Tinker 90 feet away would make it a 2-0 game.
Only no outs here for Brandon Nelson. As gets under that one, and it'll be caught by the shortstop for the Falcons. So first out of the inning.
Yeah, I was saying get underneath one, send it into the air for a sac fly, but not going to get that done when you hit it only to the shortstop. And that'll be the first out recorded here for Sloan, and we'll see if that gets him into the groove. Saw something similar yesterday with Trinity's pitcher, Joseph Cervana. He walked the first 3 guys, similar to getting the first 3 guys on base here. And then once he was able to get that first out, he was able just to sit down, focus, and he got the next 3 batters out.
Cervana also giving up the first run of the game. Another tough challenge. This Trinity lineup full of them. Colt Harris up. That pitch inside. Second baseman getting another start at that position. Had only gotten one in the previous series, but starting the first 2 games of this one and trying to bring his friends in to score.
Harris going deep a year ago this weekend in the series against Wisconsin Whitewater. I believe that was for a grand slam, and won't have a grand slam opportunity here, but a 3-run homer would look pretty nice for the Tigers.
That pitch inside, but a strike called. Caught part of the plate, upper corner. And Sloan trying to battle back here. Allowed the first 3 runners to reach. Single, single, and a double. As swings through that one. Breaking ball away. Gets Colt Harris for the second out of the inning. So Sloan 1 step closer to getting out of this jam.
Yeah, and kind of similar to what we saw yesterday. And opportunity for, we saw it with Shavana as he gave up an early run and base runners early, but maybe an opportunity here for Sloan to get out of the inning. Now that there are 2 down, Tigers have kind of squandered once again the opportunity to bring home somebody with runners on second and third and nobody out.
It was an issue for both teams last night, as several opportunities for both squads with men on, particularly in scoring position, unable to bring him in. Michael Lustina will try to as he hits one up the middle. It'll get through. Tinker will score as Lazara will be held up at third. Michael Lustina, an RBI double, gives the Tigers a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, and he hit it really well right back up the middle. Uncoverable there for the middle gap with Tillman and again, I apologize. Again ago, as I knew I was going to mess that up the first time we were going to see it as Ezra Gore steps to the plate. Put it between the second base and shortstop, and it just died in shallow center, so not enough room for Lazara to bring it all the way from second to home.
Well, I'm just glad you were the one who had to pronounce that first.
Oh, man.
As Ezra Gore up for the Tigers. Still has work to do. Lazara on third. Gore gets under that one. Out to the center fielder. Hawkinson has no trouble with it, and that will be the end of the first inning. 2-0 Trinity, able to bring some runners in. We'll be back on Tiger Network for the second. And welcome back to San Antonio. If you've been hearing loud noises in our broadcast other than us talking, we are in Calgard Gymnasium, right by where the Trinity women's basketball team is hosting Hardin-Simmons in second-round action in the national tournament. As you see the game now on your screen, Trinity up 22-19 in the second quarter.
Yeah, so in between innings, if you're a Trinity fan, we'll keep you updated. Maybe flash that up there a few times as we've got dual action happening here. And you may be wondering, okay, if you've got a basketball game going on at 8 o'clock, why is the baseball game going on at 8 o'clock as well? Well, we had a track meet that ran all day today. The track located just off to the right side of the screen behind home plate. And foul balls have been a concern. They kind of hit the the spot where the 200 meters are run. And, if you're running anything with distance, the 200s would start there. The 400s will go all the way around. So just out of safety, the ball's flying over there, people in the crowd, people walking around. They wanted to make sure that the track meet concluded today. It did around 7 o'clock. We were able to get going here with an 8 o'clock start.
Happy to get this baseball game going as Jimmy Jurgensen up for the Falcons, hitting cleanup. But the leadoff hitter in this inning swings over that one for strike 2. But so much going on this campus. But I don't know, part of me happy to have night baseball. As Jurgensen swings through that one, McGahan gets the strikeout in the first out of the second.
Yeah, beautiful start here from McGahan. On top of his command, gave up an early hit, but, can't speak for Dave Smith, but, you prefer, if a guy's going to get on, you prefer him do it by earning it and getting a hit rather than giving up the walk. And at least that's my opinion on it. So, I'll take the leadoff hit that he gave up last inning because he's looked very strong since then. He's got really good command of his stuff tonight.
That pitch inside, command, the key word when talking about Cade McGahan. Had a lot of it last weekend against Babson, went 7 innings, could not get the win as that game was tied at 2. Most of the time he was in there, as that pitch in there for a strike. Harrison DeRoe getting the win last weekend as Christian Holloway hit what turned out to be the game-winning home run in the 8th inning. And DeRoe able to shut the door on that victory. But Cade McGahan, his best outing of the season, able to go full 7. Trying to do something similar tonight, off to a good start. 1-2 pitch. Gets on top of that one and puts it foul.
See Matt Miller there on your screen. Did not factor yesterday. Getting some start here today.
First year and Wisconsin native in the batter's box. And gets on top of that one. It'll be a base hit as Peterson will stop it and hold him at 1. But a good start to the inning for Concordia-Wisconsin. Man on with only 1 out.
And again, another ball just shot back up the middle against McGahan.
As that'll bring up Tristan Largent. Got the start at first base last night. As the senior will take strike 1. Another Wisconsin native up to bat right now. This lineup full of them. As that one gets a piece of it foul. McGahan will check on the runner, as we see that a lot from him and all of these starters. See pickoff attempts. And fouls that one off himself. Ooh, Largent feeling that one.
Largent had a collision at first base yesterday. Saw his glove fly almost halfway to the pitcher's mound after running into the runner on a ball that was thrown down the line towards home. And he was able to stay in the game and finish it out.
And in this one is another pickoff to Kai Tinker, not in time. And we'll talk about pickoff attempts a lot, especially with Cade McGahan. Does them a lot. Dave Smith as ground ball. This could be 2. Gets the 1 and in time for a second. Play made by Montreza. And then eventually gets over to Kai Tinker for 2 outs to end the inning. Double play ends the top of the second from One Trinity Place in San Antonio. We'll be back for the bottom next. And welcome back to the Alamo City. We're here for the start of the second. We're here for the start of the bottom of the second inning. Cedric Bowman, the senior, up to bat for the Tigers.
Yeah, and Cedric Bowman not factoring a whole lot, so much so that not even still on the roster that we received prior to the game, wearing number 48 here today. Did get into a game last year against Texas Lutheran, and senior has been kind of a staple, even if it's been mostly a practice. I always see him around the building, out at the field, and great to see the senior getting some action here for the Tigers and see if he can capitalize on his opportunity.
Bowman gets a piece of that one, and he's going to reach, it looks like, in time. Cedric Bowman reaches first base, and that'll be a single for the senior.
And you see the Tiger bullpen, or the Tiger dugout, going absolutely crazy right there. And as I was saying, I mean, just he's put in so much work and everything else, and to finally get an opportunity to come and be on the base paths. And now we'll see if he can maybe turn that leadoff single into a double the old-fashioned way by stealing second.
And Jack Peterson up. We know he is prone to bunt. His pickoff attempt not in time. Bowman, how about that? 1 for 1 in his Trinity career.
Yeah, it's almost not fair now if you follow him up with Peterson. Talked about it on the broadcast yesterday. Already 2 bunt singles, and he's got at least 2 dribble singles that haven't gone more than 10 feet out in front of the catcher.
They will try and get Bowman again, but gets back in time. And is really trying to take it away from him. Trying to get that runner out. But Jack Peterson, seen him drop down the bunt, as you mentioned, has reached a few times doing that. Trinity trying to find a way and open up this game.
Yeah, a lot of potential speed to be on the base paths here.
There he goes. Bowman. Did he get there in time? They say no. So Cedric Bowman reaches, but then caught stealing. And that will be the first out of the inning for Concordia.
Yeah, just went a little too early there. Thought maybe he thought that someone was going to pick his leg up and start moving, and he runs himself out of position. So now Peterson, I'd still say, might see him, dare we say, bunt single again? Didn't show it that time.
Does not show bunt. Takes that one low. Jack Peterson getting the start at center field again. His 8th start yesterday, 9th today, as fouls that one off himself.
So similar to how McGahan was able to get out of the first inning after giving up that leadoff single to Hawkinson. Sloan now giving up the leadoff single, but caught stealing. Changes the whole complexity of an inning. If you're a pitcher, it's almost as if you're just 1-2-3 opportunity right here. Comes back, gets the strike now, and count runs full against Peterson.
As here comes the 3-2 pitch. It will be low. Peterson takes it. And now it's 3-2 actually. Stats were a little bit ahead of the game. As full count coming up now. 1 out here in this inning. Cedric Bowman caught stealing, but did get the single to get there. Looping breaking ball, just high. So Peterson will reach a borderline pitch. Not getting the call is Sloan, and Jack Peterson will be the runner at first.
I like that pitch. I thought that could have been strike 3 on the outside corner breaking ball. Peterson didn't think that that was in the zone, but definitely seen that one given a call quite a few times here under the lights here at Trinity.
You saw Jack Peterson hold up a little bit, wait for the call. Some guys just go. Jack Peterson waiting. That was a close pitch. Montreza squares up to bunt. Will pull it back. Peterson does not go. Peterson has not been caught stealing yet. As Montreza will try and get him over, unless Peterson does it himself. Pickoff attempt. Drop.
Just a bottom of the second inning here for the baseball game. Started at the same time as the women's basketball game. They are 4 minutes from the half.
Runner goes. Peterson in time. So still perfect on stolen bases. Jack Peterson puts himself into scoring position for Trinity.
And a nice job. Just what I was saying, though, last time. And you had Cedric on first. If you were able to put both him and Jack onto the base paths at that point, you would have had a lot of speed going for the Tigers. Montreza now with a runner in scoring position.
And he'll take that breaking ball into the zone. Now with a runner in scoring position, and Jack Peterson. Another stolen base for number 24. One out here in this inning. As we've seen Montreza drop down the bunt before. Gets a piece of that one, but rifles it foul. So Montreza down to 2 strikes. Trying to find a way to get Jack Peterson over or potentially in. A senior out of Los Gatos, California. 5th-year player. As we mentioned yesterday, this Concordia roster full of the 5th-year players. Montreza, one of the few on Trinity. Takes that ball outside. Did not chase the breaking ball.
Yeah, pretty good eye. I think you can hear some of the arguments from the crowd, but that one, at least from our vantage point, looked well into the maybe even the left-hand batter's box area.
Will Summers behind the dish for Concordia giving the signs today. It was Dylan Fike yesterday. As Montreza gets under this one, and play made in right field. Jack Peterson will get back in time as the throw gets away, so no harm done as Peterson was off and running. So second out for Concordia. Peterson will stay right where he is.
Yeah, nice job from Aguirre out in right field. We saw quite a bit of that yesterday. And maybe rushed his throw back into second just a touch. But either way, fantastic job to chase that one down and catch that little blooper, record the second out of the inning.
So that'll flip the order over. Kai Tinker batted second, so Montreza flips the order over. Working with 2 outs, man on second. Trying to give the Tigers a 3-0 lead. And Sloan trying to get out of this one. Swings through that one, breaking ball outside. Gets Tinker to chase.
Yeah, Tinker had a single through the left side back in the first inning and later came around and scored the game's second run.
We talk about the revolving door at first base. Tigers have about 5 different people that can play that position. Kai Tinker getting the nod today. Is that pitch called a strike? Not so sure about that one. As that was about in that same spot where that slider got called a ball.
I wonder if maybe that caught early in the zone. Just enough of that corner.
Maybe. That one will not, as ball will be called. Kai Tinker staying in there.
Have to imagine with Peterson's speed, anything that's well placed in the outfield will easily score him.
Tinker, see if this one gets down. It will not. Play made in right field. And by Aguirre, and that will be the end of the second.
So we look back over. We'll jump back into the basketball coverage. We've played 2. The basketball game's almost played 2 full quarters. So this game just kind of meandering along here.
Shows the difference between baseball and basketball. Getting to talk to Tim Scannell, have learned that he really loves basketball more than baseball, even though he coaches baseball.
Yeah, I see him out in the gym every now and then, taking his jumpers, staying in shape. Of course, Tim played his college career up at Northeastern in the city of Boston, and grew up around the Celtics. Pretty sure that basketball is going to be in your blood.
Of course, the Boston sports teams all doing very well. The Celtics currently holding the second best record in all the NBA, with the Denver Nuggets tied for that. Just thought I should mention that, being from Colorado. It's a good thing to know.
We'll avoid talking about the Bruins because I know how much you like the Golden Knights as well, but they are off to an unbelievable start.
Absolutely. They are over the 100-point mark. Boston having a chance to clinch another playoff spot. About 2 weeks, given the math I did this morning. Not official. Buffalo would be the first team out that they would be staying on top of. But I believe that they need 2 wins and 2 Buffalo losses to clinch as we are underway in this third inning. First pitch from Cade McGahan. As Aguirre in for Concordia.
Yeah, Aguirre recorded 2 of the outs last half inning. Came in on that little blooper and then had the one that was hit right at him to end the inning. Fantastic yesterday, patrolling the right field area, crashing into the wall at one point.
And crashing into the wall. Was slow to get up from that collision, but put his hat, put his sunglasses back on, and was ready to go, and played the rest of this one. Played the rest of that one. In this one now, rocking an orange bat. Very similar design to the glow stick that Jack Baker dons. Jack Baker, a big RBI in the 8th inning that helped Trinity take game 1. As he swings over that one, Lazaro will have to go back and get it. Will do so. And the first out of the inning comes via the strikeout.
Yeah, McGahan, maybe that one not as much control as he would have wanted. That one got down in the dirt and got away, but Lazaro doing a fantastic job behind the dish. And it's great to see him back yesterday after he departed early. And we weren't sure if maybe he'd gotten injured on that collision over at first base, but seems to be good to go today. As we talked about, Aguirre crashing into the wall yesterday, he seems good to go today. So, a couple of moments of pause yesterday with guys going full speed, and good to see everybody involved in all of those incidents like nothing had happened.
Summers able to take that one after swinging on a similar pitch. As McGahan trying to go to another scoreless inning. Scoreless for the first 2. Only allowed 2 runs against Babson last weekend as well. As that'll be strike 3. Elevates it and gets him going.
And I feel that's when you know that you've really got it dialed in right there. You've got the hitters so up and down that strike zone that when you throw that elevated pitch, that was clearly a ball. And Summers just didn't have the ability to pull back on that at all. It swung right through it.
Sean Tillman going to get a piece of this one. It'll go into foul territory, into the Falcon bullpen. But Cade McGahan talking to me about his pitches, talking about how his fastball and his breaking ball, which is the curveball, how they pair up so well. And is able to use them effectively in a 2-strike situation, normally seeing the low curveball at the hitter's feet, but not the case there. As this one will be rifled into left field. Play will be made, and that will be the inning. So a quick 3 outs for Cade McGahan, 1 by way of the strikeout, 2 flyouts for the senior. As we'll be back for the bottom of the 3rd on Tiger Network. everyone. Welcome back to the 2-0. Zach Sloan back on the mound facing Nick Lazera. Trinity going through their second time in the order. As that pitch in there for strike one. Concordia, every batter has only hit once as they've gone 1-2-3 in each inning. Did have a leadoff single, but was caught on the base pads.
They had another runner as well, and Trinity pulled the double play. So the unconventional 1-2-3s, and that one was the first 1-2-3 for McGahan. So he had gotten as you mentioned, a caught stealing and then the double play in the first and second innings. And back in the first inning, Lazera with a big RBI double scored the game's first run.
Scored the game's first run and put Kai Tinker in position to get the second, which he ended up doing from third base. Gives Trinity a 2-0 lead, which they hold here as Lazera puts that one into left field. He'll round first with ease and go to second as he'll stay there for a lead-off double for the Tigers.
So two big hits here for Lazera. Didn't really expect him to hit as well as he has this year. We talked a couple of times about how the Tigers expected catcher Tyler Pettit not in the lineup just yet. And it's almost as if Lazera's like, find some other place because I want this position the rest of the year as he's come through. We mentioned the two big home runs early on and two big doubles here today as sets himself up in scoring position for Nelson.
Anytime you talk to Coach Tim Scannell, he will sing the praises of Nick Lazera's bat, saying it's one of the things that's beginning to separate from the rest of the team, having to find a way to work that in there, as he's been working out a lot at first base with the return of Tyler Pettit imminent. Soon as potentially, maybe this week, as he has been fully cleared the catch. If you'll note, if we have that camera angle up, you'll see Tyler Pettit catches in between innings as a high fly ball will be caught, it looks like. Lazera will have to go back to second, so a loud out for Brandon Nelson.
Yeah, Brandon Nelson sending that one all the way back. Had Matt Miller on the warning track, and he might have even have picked that one off the wall. As you can see, all the way out there in left field between the elevated left field wall and the scoreboard. And I think that one might have been at least warning track power for Nelson. We did say early on, this nighttime air will help carry that ball, particularly from home out to left field. So don't be surprised if shots that maybe you don't think off the bat are going to fly out of this ballpark. And there's a reason why Trinity averaged 10 runs a game last year.
Colt Harris up to bat, got his first home run last weekend, and has Lazera at second. Gets a piece of this one, and it will get down. Harris going to take second base. Lazera is going to try and score. Throw will be not in time, as Harris goes all the way to third and gets that one. So Trinity has a 3-0 lead and a runner at third. No, Harris is going to come in and score. They say that throw to third got away, so Trinity is going to have a 4-0 lead as Colt Harris rounds the bases and takes it home himself.
Unbelievable situation right there. And I thought that this was really going to come back and hurt Trinity. Lazera kind of got caught up thinking that that one was going to drift maybe into the mitt of either the center fielder or the right fielder. He was halfway between second and third when that ball landed, and then Colt Harris was already on second by the time he got to third, and the ball was already in the infield. He decided to go for it anyway, and the throw got away from the catcher. And I don't know if Summer couldn't quite get a handle on it or what the situation was at home, but after he picked it up, tried to catch Harris over at third, and then that one sailed into left field, allowing Harris to – it's going to go down as a double, but theoretically clear the bases.
I would assume that that was going to count as a Colt Harris RBI double, and he would advance on the throw to home, and then an error that sends him home. So all told, it's going to be a 4-0 lead for Trinity. The bases are cleared, and only one down as Ezra. Well, two down now as Lustina struck out, but Ezra Gore now up into the batter's box.
I was going to say Sloan not phased too much by all that. And the time it took us to recap that, Sloan 1-2-3 on Listina, who's now 1 for 2. And Gore stepping in. He was 0 for 1 with a strikeout back in the first inning.
As Gore takes that pitch inside, a lot of information. We were slowly catching up to it, but I think we're good now.
Yeah, so scoreboard will update, and it will update again here as they figure out everything that happened for that last sequence of events. And Tigers lead 4-0 here.
Gore slaps that one foul. Hey, at least we beat them to it. Even if we were one batter behind there for a while, we were pretty on top of it. Trinity up 4-0. Ezra Gore slaps that one. It looks like it's going to be caught, as Aguirre will end this inning. Another 2-run inning for Trinity as they open a 4-0 lead on Concordia-Wisc here in the bottom of the third. And welcome back to Trinity, Texas. Ball low for Cade McGahan, who opens up with a 4-0 lead. We know the scoreboard says 3-0. They're still working on updating a calamity that happened with Colt Harris's at-bat. Was able to round the bases and score himself off an errant throw to third base. In the batter's box, Johannes Hawkinson, who fouls that one off.
Single through the left side, back in the first inning. 5 of 6 here to open his campaign of getting on base. 4 walks yesterday.
So a ridiculous OBP for the rangy center fielder. As down in this count right now. Gets under that one. It'll be short. The play made by Kai Tinker, and that is a quick first out of the inning.
And so finally Trinity maybe finding a way to solve Hawkinson here. Is he has just been a getting on base machine. As you mentioned, very high on base percentage, exactly what you want out of that leadoff spot. But they finally get him out before he's able to get to first.
As Kyle Flynn, the sophomore, up into the batter's box, swings through that one, as that'll be strike 2. As Cade McGahan looks really comfortable. Talked to Coach Smith about what makes Cade McGahan such a reliable starter. He said everything. Very poised, just gets a game going on the right foot. And doing so far today, Trinity up 4-0. Again, still trying to figure out the Colt Harris at bat. He did come around to score, so it is 4-0 Trinity. As ball low there to Flynn.
Flynn 0 for 1, grounded out to short, and now he'll be 0 for 2 with the strikeout.
As Cade McGahan gets another one step closer to getting out of this inning. He has been very efficient today.
Can't get any more efficient, right? I mean, he went 3 innings. He's only faced 9 batters. And, well, here in the 4th, 3 spot back up as Tillman steps in.
Tillman, who hit .380 last season. Definitely one of the Falcons' best players offensively and defensively. As pops this one up to center field, Jack Peterson able to take care of it. A quick top of the fourth inning for Trinity and Cade McGahan, as we'll hit you with the bottom of the fourth next on Tiger Network. And welcome back to Trinity, Texas. Tigers have a 4-0 lead on Concordia, Wisconsin. Cedric Bowman up into the batter's box, 1 for 1 today with a dribbler single.
Dribble single, and then decided he'd take off to second, and Sloan hadn't released the ball yet anywhere. Easy caught stealing on the pickoff. So we'll see if Bowman can continue to find his way on base.
Takes that pitch outside as Sloan hit him with the breaking ball. We mentioned Cedric Bowman had only seen action in one other game. It was against Texas Lutheran last season, despite being a senior and a very well-liked player in that Tiger dugout. As you heard the reaction from the Trinity teammates when he reached. As that pitch low, Bowman able to lay off of it. Bowman gets a piece of this one, and it will not be playable, as that'll be fouled off third base side.
Another chance now, the 2-2 count.
Bowman gets under this one. It'll go into right field. Play made. Matt Miller, the left fielder, able to track it down. Two other teammates there, but the coordination made and the out made as well.
And Matt Miller, the second time we've seen him flash the leather, went up against the wall to take away a big hit possibly from Nelson. And a few batters later, he comes all the way in. You see the range this time, taking away a possible 2-for-2 day for Cedric Bowman. Tigers will plate Peterson now for the second time. He takes that one inside for ball 1.
That's Jack Peterson, the 9-hole hitter up. And swing and a miss there. Center fielder swinging through that pitch.
And Sloan doing a nice job, just pulled everything out from underneath that one, and it just fell.
That pitch inside for strike 2.
Pitch he did not get earlier in this game.
Very close call, but sneaks it in there on that corner. And Peterson up against it now. And swings through that one. Ball in the dirt. They're going to have to finish it off. And they do for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, nice job from Summers. Made it look easy and throw down to first. And very quick here, 2 outs in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Send us back to the top of the order. Michael Montreza, shortstop, stepping in. 1 for 2 on the day. Got a start at a single up the middle. He was able to come around, score the game's first run. Then he flew out all the way to right field. Back in the second.
As he takes that one for strike one. Touching home plate already today. So a better series so far than last weekend. Went 1 for 11. Did have two RBIs. But still only one hit against Babson in the 3 games. So definitely a better outing so far in game 2. He's working with 2 outs and nobody on. Gets a piece of that one. Play will be made and the inning is over. So 1, 2, 3. Go the Tigers. As Zach Sloan able to work through all of them. And we'll head to the top of the 5th next on Tiger Network. And welcome back to San Antonio, Texas. Cade McGahan still on the mound for the Tigers. Jimmy Jurgensen up to bat for Concordia, Wisconsin.
McGahan has faced the minimum through 4 innings so far. He's given up 2 hits. They've both been retired along the base path. And you combine this with what he did a week ago against Babson. Cade McGahan, a very, very impressive long extended Saturday to Saturday week here on the mound for the Tigers.
As already in his 5th inning of work. As strike 2 called there on Jimmy Jurgensen.
Again, working quickly, 1 and 2 now. Struck out, did Jurgensen back in the 2nd inning.
And strikes out again there. So 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts. McGahan gets another one. Already had 4 on the day, make it 5. As now he'll be set to face Matt Miller.
Matt Miller, the only other Falcon with a base hit today. He was doubled up to end the 2nd inning after reaching through the middle in his first at-bat of the season.
First at-bat of his Falcons career, the first year. As that pitch inside. But I feel like this is a good opportunity to talk about Concordia, Wisconsin's last season. 18-22 overall record. But something that the Trinity coach has already talked about watching game 1, that these guys are a lot better than the record would suggest.
Yeah. They were very impressed with how good that Concordia, Wisconsin came out, and not necessarily any type of a slight or anything on what they thought beforehand. It's just, you know, you're already Trinity's already a team playing already a quarter of their season already, and going up against a team that hasn't been outside for more than 5 days.
As Miller gets another base hit, so 2 for 2 on the day. As he will represent the runner on first with only 1 out. But it was kind of a weird season for Concordia, Wisconsin. They won 6 of their final 10 games and won 5 of 6 at one point. But really what got them was they had a 6-game losing streak in the middle of the season. Towards the beginning, I guess, as it started on their Arizona trip, which they'll go on next week. But that really set them back, and ultimately finishing 18-22, but a strong finish to the year for them.
Yeah, strong finish, and some Tiger fans may remember a team that's also in Concordia's conference, Aurora, as Aurora beat us in the playoffs a few years back. And they've been nationally ranked the last few years. So a little bit of a hill to climb here for Concordia, as they've got some pretty good talent inside their conference that they've got to overcome. But off to a strong start, almost taking game one from Trinity yesterday. And
as a pickoff attempt there from McGahan, I think another important thing to note about their schedule on that note, they came into the final 2 games of the year, Concordia did, winning 6 of 8, lost their final 2 to Aurora. One of them being pretty close, as the runner will stay at first. So Concordia, Wisconsin started to put it together at the end of last season, but did not make the conference tournament. First time in Coach Morgan's career where they did not achieve that. As ground ball, third base side, Montrezl will get the quick out. So they get the lead runner.
Get the lead runner, and Largent almost hitting into a double play for the second time today. But Montrezl, as he had to range deep into the hole towards third, unable to get that going as quickly as he did last time. And Largent will be aboard first base on the fielder's choice. And that means that for the first time tonight, we'll see if Largent has anything before the end of this at-bat, if he gets picked off or anything like that, but I doubt he's going to be running. First time tonight that McGahan's not going to only face the 3 batters in that inning.
McGahan, more work in this inning, as Aguirre slaps that one foul.
You know, you talk about being excited for these night games. I don't know if anybody's more excited than Aguirre. Outside in right field yesterday as that sun was setting, there were a couple of times that both he and Ezra Gore, balls were hit right to them, and there was just absolutely nothing that they could do.
Saw a lot of confusion in the outfield. Colt Harris and Ezra Gore running into each other. Thankfully, none of them were hurt. The ball hitting down, and both of them, as you said, losing several balls in the sun, as another pickoff attempt here for McGahan.
Yeah, we're at that time of year where that sun setting is just right through, basically between the pitcher's mound and home plate, right through right field. But not going to have to deal with any of that here under the lights tonight. Should have big, beautiful field and surface and everything well lit for them to catch anything hit out their way tonight.
That pitch inside, it'll be 3-2 according to the ump's fingers. But Coach Scannell saying this is the perfect time of day to play baseball. 6 o'clock start, you get some of that twilight sky. It can be tough for the outfielders at times, as the ball can kind of blend into the background. Here at 8 o'clock, not the case, as the lights shine brightly down on this new turf field. And pitch framed in there for strike 3. Gets the runner on first with McGahan, able to get out of it. Another quick inning for number 31 here on Tiger Network. And welcome back to the 2-1-0 here in San Antonio, Texas, as Trinity has a 4-0 lead over Concordia, Wisconsin. Don't look at that scoreboard. It's 4, not 3. You can put a sticky note, piece of tape, whatever you want over that 3. It is 4. Another important score on campus, Trinity women's basketball up 52-45 on Hardin-Simmons in round 2 action. There's a lot going on today.
A lot going on, and Trinity hoping that certain things work out. There is a slight chance that maybe fortunes work out, that they could be hosting the sectionals next weekend. Play the Sweet 16 and Elite 8 games with a chance to move on to the Final Four. Of course, this women's basketball team losing in the Elite 8 last year. Trinity baseball, roughly the same, getting to the Elite 8. A little harder to compare apples to apples as Tinker will fly out. But College World Series taking 8 teams, bringing them all in, playing the tournament. Trinity going 1-2 in that tournament. So I think at the end of the day, they officially tie for 5th or something like that. But anyway, not finishing the season at the top of the mountain that they may have wanted to, but an impressive showing from the Tigers nonetheless. And
very impressive to get there, as that team has been honored. Out in right field, 2022 World Series shows up on that wall as Nick Lazera in the batter's box.
Third trip for Trinity. They went 2015, 2016, of course, winning it all. And then 2022 showing that it wasn't just one group of guys that were able to go all the way back to the World Series. A little point of pride for the program when you get a complete different recruiting class making the trip. And those guys were surely fired up to be there.
As Lazera will take that one for a strike. And the scoreboard, you can remove your sticky note. It is 4-0 Trinity. It has been updated. We have won. It is 4-3. As that Colt Harris run now on the board. As that pitch bounced in. I was going to say the dirt. I think that was before the dirt. As that one hopped twice before it got to the catcher.
And Sloan having to face Trinity's catcher here, who's already 2 for 2 with 2 doubles.
It's Lazera pops that one sky high into left field. Play made. As Matt Miller has no trouble with that. And that will be the first out of the inning.
Now Matt Miller's finally like, an easy play that I can make out here. He's already had 2 nice plays, and one of them against Brandon Nelson, who will step in now. He took away what might have been a double off the wall all the way back in the 3rd inning.
Brandon Nelson will step in with 2 outs. My apologies, 2 outs. As you now see on your scoreboard, Brandon Nelson puts that one third base side, and play made. So a quick inning once again. Nothing doing for either of these offenses recently. Trinity still has the 4-0 lead here in San Antonio. Welcome back to San Antonio, Texas, here at Trinity University. Will Summers in the batter's box for Concordia, Wisconsin, down 4-0 here at the top of the 6th, as he'll tap that one foul. Cade McGahan still in there now, going to have a conversation with the ump. Probably just picking a baseball he likes, and now they'll go their separate ways.
Yeah, look like Lazera may have gotten a little bit of a backswing on that one, so Sure, Cade just giving his battery mate just a few extra seconds, and the home plate umpire there nicely coming out to distract everybody from what was going on.
As that pitch, Lazera tried to frame it, but that high. So that count will even at 1. And swings through that one for strike 2.
Well, Summers' swing, I think if he gets a hold of one, we saw it in his last at-bat when he struck out, if he gets a hold of one, he may give one a ride. He's got some really good momentum through his swing. But he did strike out in his first at-bat, and he's even in the count here, 2-2.
As Summers does get a piece of that one, it'll go into right field. Play made by Ezra Gore. So 1 down here in the top of the 6th.
Yeah, and Ezra's so happy to play this one under the lights, as we talked about earlier, but those were the routine plays that were not routine at all with that sun setting last night.
Saw a similar one drop down in front of him. As that pitch in there for strike 1, as Aginiga will represent the bottom of the order for Concordia, Wisconsin.
Lined out to Cedric Bowman and left his first time up. Aginiga playing second base today.
Only had 1 career at-bat before today. Coming into this season, struck out in that 1 at-bat, but going to get plenty more chances this season. He works 0-2 here, and swing and a miss. He'll strike out. Lazera going to have to throw to first. Does so in time. So another quick at-bat for Cade McGahan, mowing through Falcons.
Yeah, 3 pitches. It gets a strikeout, and a nice job between Lazera and Kai Tinker to set that up on the outside and get the out.
And both of these pitchers, very calm, very professional. That's how Coach Morgan described Zach Sloan to me, and I get the same impression from Cade McGahan. Very, very calm and knows how to handle himself in all areas of the game.
Yeah, we talked about Trinity getting to the World Series last year. They did so almost solely based off of their offensive efforts. The pitching staff really struggling at times. The team ERA over 6, if that gives you any indication of where they were. And Cade McGahan, not a terrible season a year ago, but one thing that Dave Smith said when we saw Cade McGahan come in early on in the year was he's a completely different guy.
And swing and a miss there for the 3rd out of the inning. Another strikeout for Cade McGahan. Make it 8 on the day. As that is the end of this half of the 6th inning. We'll send it to a break for the top of the 6th next. And welcome to Trinity University for the bottom of the 6th. Home team up to bat, as it'll be Colt Harris stepping into the batter's box.
Was in fact given a double, as we predicted, for his last at bat. Get the single RBI. Did come around to score the run. And the Tigers now with that 4-0 lead.
As Harris gets on top of that one. Ground ball, third base side, play made. As Flynn able to handle that one and get the first out of the inning.
Yeah, we talked about Tigers out to that 4-0 lead, but really they haven't done much of anything since that happened. They've been put down in order since that double from Colt Harris back in the 3rd inning.
Have not done a lot at all as Michael Lustina in the batter's box. Gets under that one. We'll see if it'll get down or not. It will not. As Johannes Hawkinson able to handle it out there in center field.
And that's now 10 outs in a row for the Tigers. We'll see if Ezra Gore can break that streak. And Sloan has really settled in.
Settled in indeed. As both of these pitchers making quick work of their innings. This game continues to fly by. Already in the bottom of the 6th, 2 outs. As these pitchers seem poised to go 7 at least. As that'll bring it to 1-1.
Blows that one past Ezra Gore. Ezra Gore with a couple of home runs a year ago. Trying to maybe get the power going. It took him a while to get on base. Then he broke open his hits.
As he gets one through there. Ezra Gore able to reach with a single, and the 10-out streak is over for Trinity.
So you'll take that as a Tiger fan. I was saying Ezra has gotten the hits going, so maybe it's time to start the power going for Ezra Gore, but he'll settle for another single, and I'm sure he's happy with that.
So that'll bring up Cedric Bowman, 1 for 2 in this game today, out in left field, making his first start of the season.
Single up the middle, and then he flew out to left. And that ranging play being made by Matt Miller, coming all the way in front of that Tiger logo that you see there on the right side of your screen to retire Bowman back in the 4th inning.
As pickoff attempt, not going to do anything. It's Trinity up 4-0, trying to add on. Runner goes, Ezra Gore, going to be there in plenty of time. Able to stay on the bag and take second base.
Yeah, you say plenty of time. I think Concordia thought that they had him, but a stolen base for Ezra Gore.
Well, I think the issue that they might have with it, they might have thought he left. He looked like he got there in plenty of time, well before the throw, but he had to go past the base. Able to keep his hand on the bag, though, and put himself in scoring position for Cedric Bowman. As that pitch way high and outside.
Bowman celebrating his first hit here earlier today. Love to get his first RBI.
As takes that one close to his arm. Have not seen a hit batsman yet. Saw plenty of them in yesterday's game. I believe at least 5 on both sides. Sloan in danger of losing him here. As swings through that one. It'll be strike 2 and make it a full count.
Yeah, good placement there for him, Sloan. Working that upper outside corner. That really helps out for this pitch here. So now you've got all top to bottom in the strike zone that Bowman's got to be accountable for.
Bowman gets on top of that one. Ground ball in time, and that'll end the inning. So 4-0, it will stay again at the end of 6. We'll head to the 7th next on Tiger Network. And welcome back to Trinity University. Cade McGahan still on the mound for his 7th inning of work. 3 outs away from matching the workload he had against Babson. Has up to 80 pitches now.
Holding the Falcons to just 3 for 19. That's a 158 average. You've said it, 8 strikeouts on the day.
As under that one, the batter he faces is Kyle Flynn. Up again. Concordia has not had a lot of action on the base pads. Plenty of it yesterday. Joseph Savannah having to get out of several jams. As McGahan gets that one in there for strike 2. But not a lot from McGahan. I believe only 2 or 3 base runners today for Concordia.
And Flynn has not been one yet. Grounded out and then struck out looking.
And did he go there? They're going to say yes, as Lazaro will make the throw to finish him off. So another quick out for Cade McGahan. But we talk about the pitching improvements that Trinity has made. We noted this last weekend on the broadcast, had the ERA of 6.29. That was good for 220th in Division III baseball. But coming into the weekend, an ERA of 3.04, 42nd. So the improvement clear with this pitching staff.
Yeah, that's one of the things that as we got ready for the season, every now and then seeing pitching coach Dave Smith around the hallways here at the office, just saw a big smile on his face, and every time I saw the big smile on his face, I was like, all right, like, what's going on? And he's just like, it's like, I just have a really good feeling about everything. It's kind of all coming together. And he was really happy with where the pitching was back in December and January as we were getting started, and he just felt really good about where we were, even compared to last year at the same time. The guys dealing with some injuries, and fortunately this year, not having to deal with some of those. He said everybody's feeling good, they're looking good, the command is nice, and so he's like, mentally everybody just feels so much better than where they were a year ago.
As strike called on the outside, not so sure it was. McGahan will say thank you. But talked about just the work ethic up in this pitching staff this season, and how they all just look different. Just more physically gifted people at what they do. And McGahan certainly one of them, and you're seeing the results this season.
Yeah, and it was no surprise. The 6+ ERA with the team at the College World Series, it was conversations that were being had as we were there.
Yeah, so lose Tillman there.
So I believe the first walk of the game issued here from McGahan, and it is. And I think that, that's something that, like, if I were a pitcher, I'd take that a little personally. Yeah, our team's there, but, it's kind of like, oh, geez, you guys, your ERA is what? And those guys come back with a vengeance this year.
Come back with a vengeance cannot be great to hear. Yeah, you're here, but in spite of this, and the this being you, as these guys came in with a great work ethic, breaking ball low on Jimmy Jurgensen. The runner on first base, Sean Tillman. As Lazaro will come out to the mound, as will Dave Smith.
I'd say the interesting thing here, we haven't seen Dave Smith. He put away those walking shoes for the time being. We'll see him here for this one. McGahan not hitting the strikes as he was earlier, and so maybe just want to check on him, make sure he's feeling good. You don't want anything to get away. It's only a 4-0 lead.
Definitely not a comfortable lead, though it is a larger one. But there is action in the Tiger bullpen.
And I think to be expected a little bit. You're here in the 7th inning. You want to make sure that you safeguard the lead, but also that should anything happen, you're ready to go.
As that breaking ball inside. A lot of movement there, but not hitting the strike zone. And there's 1 out in this inning, man on first, but a 3-0 pitch coming here. And in the zone, so not going to lose him quite yet.
No, and Jurgensen has fallen victim to 2 strikeouts so far today. So for McGahan, somebody that he has been all over.
And strike 2 called. So McGahan able to battle back with some well-placed pitches. This could be a big out for him.
Yeah, Jurgensen incredulous with that call, but looked right at the knees.
And gets a piece of that one. Runner will advance, but play made at first base, so Jurgensen ends up doing his job, as the Falcons' first run could potentially be at second base right now.
As we saw yesterday, chipping away. It kind of went back and forth there in the later innings, and then Tigers are able to blow it open with a 2-run lead as we headed to the 9th. And if you can score 1 here, you can maybe chip away at a second in the 8th, and who knows where you're at. Still got plenty of time if you're the Falcons.
So runner in scoring position, 2 outs for Concordia, Wisconsin, as Matt Miller will try and bring Tillman around. And strike called on that inside part of the plate.
Matt Miller with 2 singles here today, up the middle and into the right field area. He's able to go 3 for 3. I think it will plate Tillman with 2 outs here in the inning.
As Tillman got a lot of contact there, it'll get down. Tillman will score as Max Miller, an RBI single, puts the Falcons on the board.
Miller not starting yesterday. I imagine they're going to be penciling him in already for the Sunday start. So he's 3 for 3 on the day, and he's now driven in the first run of the day for Concordia.
I noticed that was kind of a difference between Trinity's lineup and Concordia, Wisconsin's, as Coach Scannell saying that we're going to see 1,000,000 lineups out of the Tigers in these first few series. Concordia, Wisconsin keeping a pretty consistent lineup, not too many new guys in there, as it looks like that's going to be the day for Cade McGahan. A very impressive 6.2 innings pitched, only 1 earned run, but on the hook for Miller at first, as we'll take a break on Tiger Network. And a pitching change here in San Antonio, Texas. It'll be Jack Martinez in for the Tigers. He'll face Tristan Largent, one of the many fifth-year seniors on this Falcons roster. Talking to Coach Morgan about all the fifth-year seniors on this roster, said the guys were hungry. Mentioned earlier, did not make the conference tournament for the first time in his tenure, had several second-place finishes in his decade-long coaching career here at Concordia, but did not make it, and that really did not sit well with a lot of the guys on that team. So taking their extra year to come back and play, taking that COVID year that they were granted, and a really hungry group, he says. As that pitch high from Jack Martinez.
Yeah, similar in philosophy there to what we've seen here on campus at Trinity. Volleyball team making the national final with a bunch of fifth-year seniors as they were hungry to come back and proved that they still had it. And so nice to see from Concordia as they, we talk about, Aurora being in that conference. If they can knock them off this year, they have a possibility to get a shot in the regionals and see what they can do.
As Martinez will lose Largent, as Aguirre will be due up for Concordia. So really the first time that the Falcons have had a lot of base traffic in this game.
Yeah, 2 on. We didn't see that much, as we mentioned. Like for most of the game, again, it faced the minimums. And now an opportunity here as the tying run comes to the plate for the Falcons. And I believe we're going to see a pinch hitter.
And it'll be number 16, Brendan Cleveland, in the batter's box. Pinch hitting for Aguirre. His day will be done. And Brendan Cleveland, a runner in scoring position, trying to get at least another run on the board for Concordia as Martinez's pitch in the zone. Trinity trying to hang on to this lead and take another series victory. It would be their 3rd consecutive. As Martinez in the zone for strike 2.
Yeah, very nice here from Martinez after the walk as he came in. Then ball 1, you really start to question, is he ready? Is he ready to come in as a reliever? And then 2 quick strikes here against Cleveland. He's ahead in the count.
As that breaking ball, good take by Cleveland. That had a lot of spin on it at the end.
Yeah, it finished well outside, but for a while there, that looked like it might be borderline on the black.
Pitch to Cleveland, swing and a miss. So Martinez able to strike out the batter and get the 3rd out of the inning. Trinity able to maintain a 3-run lead, but Concordia able to get one back here in Texas. And welcome back to San Antonio, Texas. As you see on your screen, women's basketball, 1:37 away from moving on past round 2 as they look to be on their way to defeating Hardin-Simmons. So we appreciate all of you who have stayed tuned into this one. A good one, 4-1 lead for Trinity. And a new pitcher on the mound for the Falcons of Concordia. It'll be Ben Spears, the junior and Wisconsin native. Was used as a starter a lot last season. 11 appearances, 9 starts, with a 3-5 record through 45 and 2/3 innings. As talking to Coach Morgan about him, said that the plan was to put him in the bullpen in a decently high leverage situation. This one would qualify, needing to hold this lead for Trinity to 3 to give his offense a chance. It'll be Jack Peterson to lead off the inning. He tries to drop down the bunt with nobody on. We'll pull it back for ball 1.
Yeah, the Ks per 9 don't really jump out at you, only 6.7 per 9 innings. But what that tells me is that he's probably more ground ball oriented, tries to probably let the defense handle things behind him. And we'll see how that works out here, especially against somebody like Jack Peterson, who is notorious for his trying to leg out the ground balls.
as Peterson fouls that one off. So yeah, the K's for 9, not jumping out, but they do view Ben Spears as a starter, as you saw from the stats I read you from last season. Using him in this bullpen situation, though, as there are a lot of quality arms that can be starters. A notable one out, Tyler Drezik, who is what they view as their ace, recovering from Tommy John surgery. As Peterson gets under this one, and it will be handled easily by Danny Hahn, who is into the ball game, replacing Aguirre. And we'd like to update you from the basketball game. We have a final 88-69. The Trinity Tigers women's basketball team will be moving on to the next round as they have defeated Hardin-Simmons.
Back to the Sweet 16 for Trinity, and they will, believe, take on Tufts. Tufts was winning their game earlier before we got started, and I didn't see the final of that one, but believe that it will be Tufts. Location to be determined. I believe with the way that the bracket breaks down and that the fact that the men have preference on the second round, there's a good chance that maybe the tournament will be coming back to Trinity here for the Sweet 16 and Elite 8.
And should that be the case, you bet we will have it for you on Tiger Network. A lot of speculation where that game will be. I've heard different opinions on it, whether it's going to go to Tufts or to Trinity. But either way, very fortunate that women's basketball will be going to the Sweet 16 as Montreza gets a piece of that one to deep right field, but it will be caught.
Yeah, Neidfeld taking over in right. I mentioned Hahn in at second base. So a couple of changes defensively here for the Falcons.
Neidfeld in there at right field. Danny Hahn in at second base now as Kai Tinker in the batter's box gets a piece of it, but play will be made by Ben Spears himself, and a quick bottom of the 7th as we'll head to the 8th next here in San Antonio. A good one, 4-1. Trinity has the lead.
One.
And welcome back for the 8th inning here on Tiger Network. Jack Martinez still in there as he got the one batter he needed to out. As Danny Hahn, pinch hit, was thrown in at second base. Some reshuffling for Concordia after the pinch hit that they made last inning. As that pitch in there for a strike from Martinez.
Yeah, so good to see Martinez back out there as he's kind of that tweener, starter, reliever, long reliever, however you want to mention it. And
did he go? And they say, no, he did not. Hahn will stay right there. But yeah, starter reliever. Started game 2 against Birmingham Southern opening weekend. Did not go exactly the way he wanted. Has been used as a reliever since very effectively. Got the win in game 2 I should say, against Hardin Simmons. In a game the Tigers had led 4-0. Let Hardin Simmons come back. Martinez giving up a solo home run in the top of the 10th inning. That gave Hardin Simmons the lead. But ultimately getting the win as his offense able to collect some runs in the bottom of the 10th. As Hahn follows another one back, staying alive.
Okay.
Hahn fouling another one off, staying alive. And what has been a long, dragged out at bat for the second baseman. Made the start yesterday, not today though. But now in here in a late game situation.
Yeah, gave way for a Ginniga, and then maybe brought in for defense at some point, and then late offense.
Ball high will bring the count to full. As showing their support, this long at bat. Martinez will lose him. So Danny Hahn ends up winning the long battle. Pitch into the dirt, and Concordia has a base runner. And that will bring up a Ginniga, the right fielder. As pitch in there for a strike. Jack Martinez, runner on first. As ball called. That could have gone either way. No outs in this one. Jack Martinez trying to maintain this 3-run lead the Tigers have built. Swings through that one. It'll be strike 2. So 1-2. Martinez trying to finish him off and collect the first out of the inning before the order will flip over. And swing and a miss. Strike 3. Jack Martinez able to get the strikeout. So one step closer to getting out of this 8th inning. So the order will flip now. Jonas Hawkinson led off this game, will be the 3rd hitter of this 8th inning. He'll take strike 1. As ball low, Martinez allowed a walk. That is the base runner right now. Danny Hahn on first base. Concordia trying to find a way to bring him in and make this game closer as that pitch fouled off.
Tigers have kept Hawkinson off the bases since the first inning. Popped him up in the 4th inning, struck him out in the 6th.
As swings through that one, throw back at first will not be in time. Hahn able to get back, but Martinez able to strike out Hawkinson for the second out of the inning.
Second out of the inning and the second time for Hawkinson. That'll bring Kyle Flynn to the plate. 0 for 3 today. A pair of strikeouts and a ground out.
Flynn, the last chance for the Falcons to bring Danny Hahn in to score somehow. Trying to find some offense. Have not had a lot of it today. Had one chance with a runner in scoring position, I believe. As that one will be sent sky high. Playable, and Lazara will catch it. That is the third out of the inning. Martinez able to get through it as the Tigers maintain their 4-1 lead here in San Antonio.
One.
And bottom of the eighth here in Trinity, Texas. Nick Lazera will lead off the inning, as the Tigers have a 4-run lead. Have not scored in quite some time, though, as all their damage has been done in 2 innings.
Yeah, and the last time they scored, it was Lazera scoring, and then just a few seconds later, Colt Harris coming around on an errant throw to clear the bases off of his double. But a couple of early doubles for Lazera. He plated a run on his first one, and then he scored after hitting his second one.
As Ben Spears still in there for the Falcons. As we mentioned, he was a starter last season, so he can take that workload as Lazera gets that one through. And he will reach first base in plenty of time. And the leadoff hitter will reach for Trinity.
And so now 3 for 4 on the day here for Lazera. Have yourself a day at the plate. So he spent most of the day behind it. And an opportunity for Brandon Nelson to maybe get something going, as he's 0 for 3 on the day.
Lazera makes the final out of the previous inning. Able to get on base to start this one as Brandon Nelson squares up to bunt. Will drop it back for ball 1. Frank in the building, able to see his pal go 3 for 4 today, as the French Bulldog continues to bring his magic to the ballpark. Brandon Nelson trying to bring the catcher over, as he takes ball 2 there outside. Coach Scannell telling me a while back that good teams get the big lead and add runs. They don't just keep putting up zeros. So far that's been the case, but I'm sure he's hoping that they can add on to this lead that has been cut down to 3.
Yes, still well within striking range here for the Falcons.
Ben Spears working through the teeth of this Trinity lineup, as Nelson takes another one outside. That one a little closer, but probably high. And same pitch, same result, and he'll lose Brandon Nelson. So the Tigers have 2 men on with nobody out. A great opportunity to extend their lead.
2 on, nobody out, and Colt Harris back to the dish. He got the magic going with a double the last time the Tigers were able to score some runs, but that was all the way back in the 3rd inning.
Got the double that scored Nick Lazera, able to come around and score himself thanks to some errant throws by Concordia, as he takes that one for strike 1.
And it was yesterday in the 8th inning when Trinity was able to finally break through, scoring 3 runs of their 7. And that was just enough to put them ahead going into the ninth, which they were able to hold on to that and win 7-5.
Harris swings through that one. He's down 0-2 early with 2 on. Great opportunity for Trinity. Able to put this out of range of being a save situation, as you would assume Jack Martin is going to be coming back onto the mound. I felt comfortable enough to start him in Game 2 against Birmingham, so we know he can go those extra innings as Harris gets a piece of it.
I think that was just dropped by the catcher, and with first base occupied, they're going to say he completely whiffed on it. It's going to be a strikeout here for Spears.
Yeah, saw the ball move, but as you noted, Josh, the catcher's glove getting it. So strike 3 called. And it'll bring up Michael Lustina, who will stay in there, making his 2nd consecutive start. As first pitch in there for a strike. One down here in the bottom of the 8th. Concordia just trying to hold this deficit.
Had a couple of double plays yesterday. Let's see if their defense can turn the magic again, help Spears out and get out of the inning. But if not, Lustina, hopefully for the Tiger fans, put one through the middle here and be just enough to help open this lead up just a little bit and have it be a little bit more comfortable if Martinez is able to come back out.
Lustina able to lay that off that one. A tough take to make down to his final 2 strikes. But sends it to 1-2. Trying to find a way to bring Lazera and Nelson over and potentially in to score. As that one up in on him, they'll say it hit him. As Lustina, you can tell, feeling that one on the upper part of his shoulder.
Looks like Concordia's catcher very confused about that one. And I don't see conversation or anything, so.
Thought Lustina may have dodged it at first, but you could tell by the way he reacted, he was feeling some pain. But that will load the bases with only 1 out and Ezra Gore up to bat. As Summers will get on top of that slider.
1 for 3 at the plate today, but it was his last at bat that got him going, so let's see if he can stay hot.
And we will have a meeting with everyone, coach and the rest of the infield coming in for Concordia.
Yeah, not too surprising. I think this is pretty much the norm here for Concordia. Every time that they've had a mound visit, we've seen everybody come in. And so I don't know if it's strategic or if it's just a team unity type of deal, but we saw it a bunch yesterday.
As this meeting dragging out, we've seen them do this before when they're about to bring somebody else in. And we will check to see if a white jersey is going to run from the bullpen. Does not appear to be the case so far, as it looks like Spears is going to get to finish this out with 1 out and the bases loaded. And a dangerous hitter up for Trinity, and Ezra Gore did not have a hit in his first 4 games, has a hit in every game since.
Well, he kind of promised that to us.
As Gore takes that one low. Not a situation where you can walk a batter, as that would score a run. Give Ezra Gore a free RBI.
Had a long hit streak last year, and then after starting off hitless in the first series, so he came back and said, hey, that's on me. You won't see me miss too many more this year. I'm going to get hits in games. So far, he's delivered on that promise.
Had a hitting streak of 31 games last season, as he takes a ball. Ooh, close pitch there, but broke outside of the strike zone. And Spears in danger of losing him here. 3-1 pitch. Low for ball 4, and Trinity will extend the lead to 5-1. As Ezra Gore gets an RBI by way of the walk.
And Ezra Gore with a little bit in common with the women's basketball team that just defeated Hardin Simmons tonight. Defeated Hardin Simmons back in November in the football playoffs. And he's looking to maybe make it 2 playoff appearances in the same academic year. Did it in the same calendar year with the with the baseball team making it last year, and also football's gone back-to-back years in the postseason. Baseball looking to do the same here.
This time there will be a pitching change. As you see a white jersey coming from the bottom right corner of your screen. So a new pitcher for Concordia, Wisconsin, a 5-1 lead for Trinity. He will inherit the bases loaded when we come back. Welcome back to One Trinity Place. Base is loaded for Cedric Bowman, who will remain in there. 1 out in the inning, so some work to do for Connor Krosnick, who's the new pitcher for Babson. For Concordia, Wisconsin, my apologies.
Started off his day with a single. He's flown out and grounded out since, but now it's still another opportunity to get his first RBI here for the Tigers.
As that ball inside, called strike. Bowman trying to blow this game open. Bases are loaded.
And Connor Krosnick, not a whole lot of work out on the mound. Had just 10.2 innings of work last year, 13.1 in his career.
As Bowman sends that foul to the left field side.
More walks than Ks, but last year an ERA of 4.22, so was able to get the job done at times.
Despite those 10.2 innings pitched, still a record of 1-1. So being the pitcher of decision quite a few times despite the lack of innings. That ball will be high and outside. As Bowman able to hang in there.
Yeah, 13 walks to 9 strikeouts a year ago. This counts 2-2.
Bowman able to fight that one off. Big situation for Krosnick. Ezra Gore at first, Michael Lustina at second, Brandon Nelson at third base. Those are the 3 runners in black for Trinity. And an opportunity to blow this game open. Already a 4-run lead for the Tigers. Bowman fights it off again. Senior continuing to stay alive in the batter's box.
Yeah, I see. Bowman maybe choking up just a touch here, looking for a little bit of bat control, stay alive. Knows that if he can put something into play, likely score another run here for Trinity.
As puts it in play. Play made by the shortstop and will not make the throw, so a run will score. An RBI single for Cedric Bowman, and it's 6-1 Trinity.
2 for 4 here in his first start of the season. He's going to get his first RBI here for Trinity. Have yourself a night for Cedric Bowman.
Tillman elected not to make the throw there out of fear that Michael Lustina could come in from third to score. Instead, the bases will still be loaded with 1 out for Jack Peterson.
Peterson 0 for 2 today.
That pitch inside nearly got him. As Michael Lustina, runner currently at third, that is how he reached. Hit by pitch. The first one we saw today after seeing several yesterday. Krosneck trying to get out of this one as that ball will be outside as Trinity continues to be patient with their at-bats. Trying to add on to this lead and hold on to it to win this series. And gets on top of that one. Will take it to first and get the sure out. Runners will advance and a run will score, so Lustina will come in to make it 7-1. Thought that could be 2 for a second, but Concordia just deciding to take the sure out at first.
Yeah, put themselves in a situation to get out of the inning here. If you try to go for 2 and sail it, who knows how long you're stuck in this inning with runners on base. Just trying to go back to the top of the order with Montreza. But nice job there for Peterson to at least advance the runners and get the RBI.
That is true. You want to get out of this inning, but at the same time, 7-1 now. Hard to get back into this game. Already hard at 5 runs. But you could have just eliminated any chance of getting back in the ball game, being down 6. Personally, a little surprised they weren't more aggressive, trying to force a double play and get out of it now. But either way, it will be 7-1 Trinity. Montreza in the batter's box with 2 in scoring position. High pitch there. It's Trinity scoring 7 runs again. Second straight game they've done that. Had yet to do it all season after averaging nearly 10 last season. Highest they had scored was 6. They had done it 3 times. 2 of them losses, believe it or not. As that ball high on Montreza. But 7 runs in back-to-back games. So you get the sense this offense might start to get it going a little bit.
Yeah, and you mentioned the 6 runs that they lost. Really the only 2 games where the pitching has kind of gotten away from them.
Montreza swings through that one. Not happy with it. The 7-6 loss to Birmingham Southern. One of the times they scored 6, and then the 11-6 loss to Babson to close out the series last weekend. As has a chance to truly blow this thing open, even more than it already has been. 2 in scoring position, 2 outs though. Swings through that one, and that will end the inning. A strikeout on Michael Montreza, but Trinity able to add on a few more runs. It's 7-1 Tigers as we head to the top of the 9th.
1.
And welcome back to the Alamo City. Trinity opening a 7-1 lead on Concordia, Wisconsin. But they'll have to deal with the Falcons' best hitter, and Sean Tillman.
All right, Tillman's got one more at bat to have my pregame prediction come true. I was watching him take BP, and he was really crushing the ball, and I thought maybe today would be the day that he goes yard. So far, not the case. Took a walk back in the 7th and flew out to center field back in the 4th. And grounded out to the shortstop back in the 1st. So see if he can get the bat swinging.
Strike called there. Sean Tillman, not the type of hitter that hits a lot of home runs. Has only hit 3 all of last season in 40 games played.
Batted .380. Goes back as one of the highest returning hitters for the Falcons.
One of the many fifth-year seniors, as we noted earlier. And strike called. Ooh, not so sure about that, as Martinez remains in there for Trinity. Trying to get these 3 outs and close this game out. Tillman gets on top of that one. Play will be made. We'll see if it's in time. It will be. Colt Harris, the diving play. Tillman tried to dive head first to get there in time, but will not be able to. And 1 down in the top of the 9th.
Oh, fantastic play by Colt Harris, and then the bang-bang play at first. I don't know if he got him, but just for the style points alone, gets the call for the out.
There's some interesting philosophy there. Sliding into first base, because it's a force out, they can't touch you. So there's really no point in sliding, so you might as well go full speed unless you feel sliding is going to get you there faster, which if you're running full speed, I don't know that necessarily is.
Yeah, I've talked to quite a few people, and I've even seen some scientific studies and some different experiments done on it, and I think that the general consensus is that you'd be better off to run full speed. But depending on the type of base runner you are, you just might have like that natural instinct to just try to get down low.
Strike 3 called as that breaks into the zone. And Martinez 1 out away from wrapping this game up for Trinity.
Jurgensen now 0 for 4 on the day. And Martinez is going to have to really settle in deep here because Miller is 3 for 3 on the day, has this lone RBI, has 3 of the 4 hits for Concordia, and the only other hit came at the very top of the game for Hawkinson.
First year really making an impression to start his Falcons career. It was one of the few bright spots offensively in a day that's only yielded 1 run for Concordia. As that pitch in there for a strike. So Martinez, used in a lot of high leverage situations last season, has the win already this season. Could have been a save for him. Entered the 9th inning with that situation, it being a 4-1 game, but the Tigers able to add on 3 more. So a much low pressure situation.
Yeah,
Martinez
doesn't have to deal with that high pressure part of it the 9th inning. Still in line for the save. So he entered in with enough going for it at the time. But now he runs the count full to Miller. We'll see if he can retire Miller for the first time or if Miller is on base for the 4th time to keep this game going for the Falcons.
Pitch from Martinez in there for strike 3, and that's going to be curtains. Trinity able to get the 7-1 win, exploding at the end offensively to win this series against Concordia, Wisconsin.
Yeah, they'll take it with a game left tomorrow. We'll see you 11:30 for that one. But fantastic job here, and I'm going to give credit to the Trinity pitching staff. They came in. McGahan was absolutely electric. 9 strikeouts on the day for him. And then he gave way to Jack Martinez, who went 2 1/3. He had 5 strikeouts himself for 14 combined for the day for Trinity. They allowed only 4 hits, as we just mentioned. 1 at the top of the game to Hawkinson, the other 3 to Miller, and then everybody else they shut down. And just a fantastic day defensively here for Trinity, able to get a little bit of offense going. I think we'd still like to see a little bit more to start to feel comfortable about where we're headed for the team, but not a bad day overall for the Tigers.
Only 2 pitchers used and 7 runs, matching the Tigers' season high. A 7-1 win for Trinity as they take the series against the Falcons. That's it from us at Tiger Network. On behalf of Josh and everyone in the control room, I'm Cole Isaacson saying so long from One Trinity Place.